Hello Chris here. In this video we're gonna make a blanket like this in Blender. You can get the finished blend file on my Patreon. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, press the subscribe button and the bell icon below so that you won't miss any new videos when I release them. So first open Blender, select all of this, press delete to delete all of that. And we need to add a plane, Shift plus A, mesh, plane, S to scale, X to scale, 2, enter. Then Control plus A in the keyboard, apply the scale. Go to edit mode using tab, Ctrl plus R on the keyboard, add a loop cut to make the geometry even. Select everything using A key, right click, subdivide and subdivide it 3 more times to get something like this. Then select everything using A key, press U in the keyboard, unwrap angle base to unwrap UV map like this. Then go to object mode using tab, go to side view using number 3, we need to move this up a tiny bit, G to move, Z to move and move it to here. Now we need to add a cylinder. Shift plus A, mesh, cylinder. R to rotate, X to rotate 90 degree, enter. S to scale 0.025, enter. S to scale, Y to scale 100, enter. If you want the exact dimension, you can see it here. Then Ctrl plus A in the keyboard, apply the scale. Go to side view using number 3. You need to add a loop cut here. Go to edit mode using tab, Ctrl plus R on the keyboard, left click, right click to cancel any movement, G to move, Z to move, 0.05 minus, enter to move it downwards like this. Ctrl B to bevel and bevel it to a particular value, then go to this menu, change this to 2 and the number of segments to 10. Then minimize this. Now we have something like this. Press N to hide this window. Go to object mode using tab. Select this, right click, shade auto smooth. Select this, right click, shade smooth. Go to top using number 7. We have a blanket that is particularly uniform. R to rotate and rotate it a tiny bit. G to move, X to move and move it a tiny bit to make the blanket uneven like this. Now we need to add a cloth modifier to this. Select this. Go to physics properties, add a cloth modifier. Select this. Add a collision modifier. Make sure the scale of both of them is 1 like this. Select this one. Scroll down and change the thickness outer to 0.005. Then select this one and change the quality steps to 10. Vertex mask to 0.1 and scroll down and go to collision and change the quality to 6. Object to collision distance to 0.005. Turn on self collision and change the distance to 0.005. Then select this one. We need to increase the friction a tiny bit, so change the friction to 8. Press N to hide this window. Go to first frame, press play. As you can see, we have something like this. Currently we don't have that many vertices, so select this one, go to first frame, go to modifier properties, add a modifier, generate subdivision surface modifier, increase both of them to 2, place this above the cloth modifier. Then add another subdivision modifier and reduce both of that to 1 and place this after the cloth modifier. Then go to first frame, press play. As you can see, we have something like this. Go to first frame. As you can see, the edge of this cloth is beveled. We don't want that. Go to edit mode using tab. Go to edge selection mode. Alt left click here, then click again to select the edge loop like this. Then shift E in the keyboard and increase the edge crease to something like this. Make sure the factor is 1. Then go to object mode using tab. Go to first frame, press play. As you can see, we got a simulation like this. If you have any artifacts with the cloth going inside itself or this one, you can change the quality steps here. If you increase the quality steps, it will get rid of that artifacts. But be careful though, if you increase it too much, it's going to take a long time to bake the simulation. So go to first frame again. Now we need to add a wind here. So shift plus A, force field, wind. Then go to front view using number 1, R to rotate and rotate it to something like this. G to move and I'm going to place it here. Go to top using number 7, R to rotate and rotate it to something like this. G to move and place it here. Now we need to animate the wind so that it's not uniform all the time. Select the wind and bring this timeline up a tiny bit. Go to 60th frame. Go to physics properties and place the mouse cursor here on the strength. Then press I to add a keyframe. Go to 70th frame and increase the strength to 1500. Then add another keyframe by pressing I. Then go to 150th frame, change this to 400. Then add another keyframe. Then go to 240th frame, change this to 1800 and add another keyframe. I'm going to increase this to 1.2. Then the noise amount to 0.5. No need to add a keyframe to any of that though. Then go to 60th frame. We need to rotate this wind a tiny bit. So go to top view, go to 60th frame, press N in the keyboard to bring out this window. Place the mouse cursor here, press I to add a keyframe to the rotation of this one. Then go to 150th frame, art rotate and rotate it to something like this. Place the mouse cursor here, add a keyframe. Go to 240th frame, art rotate and rotate it to something like this. Then add another keyframe to the rotation like this. Go to first frame, press N to hide this window, press play. I added a keyframe to the 60th frame because the blanket settles down particularly well on the 60th frame. Then go to first frame. We need to bake the simulation. So before we do that, we need to save the file. So file, save. So select this one. Going to increase this to 12 so that there won't be any artifacts. Then go to cache. Then go to here and click bake. Make sure the end frame is 250 though. Then bake. Then go to first frame, press play. As you can see, we have a cloth simulation like this with wind and everything. Currently our blanket doesn't have any thickness, so we're going to apply a solidify modifier to this. Make sure you bake the simulation before you apply a solidify modifier though. So select this one, go to modifier properties, art modifier, generate solidify. Then change the thickness to 0.004 so that there is a tiny bit of thickness to this. Now I'm going to add two legs to this, so select this one. Go to edit mode using tab, select this face by going to face selection mode. Shift plus S in the keyboard, cursor to selected. Go to object mode again, shift plus A, mesh, cylinder. S to scale 0.05, enter. We need to place the 3D cursor here. Go to edit mode using tab, select this, shift plus S, cursor to selected. Go to object mode again, change the transform pivot point to 3D cursor. S to scale, Z to scale 35, enter. This will scale it in the Z axis like this. Then Ctrl plus A, apply the scale. Select this one, go to edit mode again. We need to add a UV sphere here. Select this. Press period key in the numpad to zoom into that one. We don't need this face, so press X in the keyboard, then select faces. This will delete that face. Shift plus A, I'm going to add a UV sphere. S to scale 0.05, enter. Then shift H in the keyboard to hide everything but that. Go to front view using numpad 1. Go to wireframe mode. Select all of this. Then press X in the keyboard. Select vertices. This will delete all of that like this. Then go to vertex selection mode. Alt H in the keyboard to bring back everything. Go to front view again. Select these vertices. Press M in the keyboard. By distance. This will remove the 32 double vertices like this. Go to solid mode, go to object mode using tab, select this, right click, shade auto smooth. Then go to side view using number 3, art rotate 6, enter. Now we need to mirror this on the other side, so select this one, art modifier, generate mirror modifier, then change this to Y. Then select the mirror object to this one, but we have it mirrored on the Z axis. That's because if you press N in the keyboard and select this one, there is a rotation of 90 degree in the x-axis. So Ctrl A in the keyboard and select the rotation to apply the rotation. As you can see, it's corrected like this. Now press N to hide this window. Now that we have all of this, we need to apply material to both of this. Have downloaded a fabric texture for the blanket and an HDRI for the background from Polyheaven. Have provided a link in the description for both of them. Then go to shading workspace. Select the blanket, click new and change the name to blanket. Then select the principal BSDF, Ctrl Shift T in the keyboard and select the material you downloaded. Then select principal texture setup. This will place the material on the blanket like this. Currently it is too big, so I'm going to increase this value to 5. If you don't like this color, you can change it using a hue saturation value node. So Shift plus A, Search for hue saturation value, then select this one and place it here. We change the hue value. As you can see, we have different colored materials like this. I like the blue color, so I'm going to change it to something like this. Then increase the saturation a tiny bit and increase the value. Then I'm going to increase the sheen value a little. Then change the weight to 0.5. Now we need to apply a simple metal material. If you want, you can apply a rope and wood material to all of this, but I'm going to apply a simple metal material. Select this, click new and change it to metal. Then change the color to a tiny blue color and increase the metallic all the way to 1. Reduce the roughness to make it a tiny bit shiny like this. Then select this, shift to select this, Control L in the keyboard, then link material. This will apply the material to this one. Now that we have this, we need to apply the HDRI in the background. Go to here, change this to world, select this one, then Control T in the keyboard to add a node like this. Then click open. As you can see, a resting place 4K EXR, then open image. Go to rendered mode. As you can see, we have an HDRI like this. I'm going to change the sync to 1.2. Don't like this rotation, so I'm going to increase the rotation in the Z axis to 48. Now we need to add a camera so that we can render the scene. So shift plus A, camera. Then select the camera, make sure the camera is selected. Then press Ctrl Alt number 0 in the keyboard to place the current view to the camera. Then shift plus wave key in the keyboard and press S to zoom out to something like this. Press Q in the keyboard to bring the camera down. Go to here and change the render engine to cycles. If you have a good graphics card, you can change this to GPU compute. So you can see we have something like this. Then go to layout mode, save the file, go to rendered mode, camera using number 0 and press play. I'm going to render this frame 246. Save the file, press F12 to render the scene. As you can see, we have a cool looking render like this. If you want, you can add a ground and everything and apply material to it and render the whole animation. But I'm going to leave it like this since our goal is to make it simple blanket. You can get the completed blend file on my Patreon. That's it for this video. If you like this video so far, please give a like to this video in the bottom. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, press the subscribe button and the bell icon below so that you won't miss any new videos when I release them. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye for now.